Hello to all you nifty nerds, gaming joystick jockeys out there in Pixel Land. This is Double Shift, the calm and reserved show where two seasoned industry vets talk about gift cards with just a few dollars left on them.
Oh, God.
Why do we keep them around the house and never use them? I mean, we'll never know. I mean, I believe I even have some here. Or no, actually, I might have finally organized them. But why do we do that, Danielle? You must do that. Because
I throw them away. Well, yeah, because eventually, like, how are you just going to use $1?
Well, you're supposed to be able to, like, stack them. I brought, like, Starbucks gift cards. I don't consume Starbucks. My kids like it for some reason. Stacks of it with, like, 60 cents, $1.
I can see that.
I'll keep handing it to them. And they're happy to, do it, even though it sucks. But, anyways, that's our main topic today. But
I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end because before we get to that, we'll talk about video games just a little bit. Just a little bit. About that much, a smidgen.
A skosh.
I am your host, Mikey, a.k.a. DJ 9.0 ABV.
Stupid.
Along with my friend, former colleague, and current Milwaukee's best celebrity endorser, Danelle. Say hello, Danelle.
What the hell? Hello. I've never had Milwaukee's best.
You know what it is, though?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Milwaukee's Beast is what we used to call it back in the day. My band, actually the studio where I was just telling you about, we used to have that studio. Someone would be responsible for bringing beer each week. And then it was kind of gross because we didn't have a fridge there. We would just leave it there for the next week, and we would often have warm beer. But when it was my turn, I would always bring Milwaukee's Best because it was $4.99 for a 12-pack, and I didn't have money. So, whatever. Who cares, right? It's fun.
I don't know.
So anyways, we have me, Mr. 9.0 ABV. We have Milwaukee's best celebrity endorser, Danelle. Unless you would like to change your cheap beer of choice that you endorse.
Nope.
Otherwise, we can move on to producer Jeff, who gets buzzed off of one Michelob Ultra. It's true. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in that very studio. Just one.
Oh. He must have been on an empty stomach.
Yeah, he doesn't eat either. Have you had a Michelob Ultra before? What's your thoughts on those?
No, I haven't had one of those either. I don't drink cheap beer.
Yeah. It's good if you're like a runner, I think.
I'm a beer snob nowadays, so...
Yeah. You know, we should start a beer podcast, I feel like. Maybe
oh my gosh, hey!
Double shift at night. Double shift after the shift.
When I went to Half Moon Bay, like, last week, I got this really awesome blueberry beer. It wasn't a cider. It was maybe a blueberry stout even, but it was so good. It was like 8%.
Or like a sour, maybe?
No, I don't think so, because I don't really like sours. But
yeah. Jeff, we're going to start a beer podcast, okay? You down for that? Okay.
I mean, last week I got one that was like 9%. That's like the highest I've ever seen.
Right. Well, it's not the highest you've ever... Anyways.
I'm the highest in the room.
Sorry. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's get to the topic, I suppose.
Yes.
We'll start this beer podcast. Double shift after the shift. I mean, it writes itself.
Whoa, that is amazing. I love it.
Drink beer on it. I think you can do that on YouTube. I don't know. Anyways, speaking of YouTube, right here, and I did this last week too, and I laughed at myself.
Ew, you crossed your eyes?
Where my eyes are crossing, Jeff's going to put our Instagram and our email, doubleshiftpod, all one word, at gmail.com. Jeff, any emails? No? Okay. And then, of course, you can go to Double Shift Podcast at YouTube, which we don't have a bumper for. We don't have a graphic for that. I just have to say it. But so, I mean, one of these days I want to look down and see it here. I doubt that's going to happen. This week's episode, Danelle, is blandly titled. It's a long title, but it's blandly titled "The Last Best Era, Part 1. Here Comes a New Challenger." And so today we're going to talk about the OG Xbox. It's the new kid on the block, hoping to steal some of the glory from other consoles, more established consoles, and a new console war would be upon us. And it is called the Last Best Era. Oh wow! You just carry around your Series S just in your pocket.
Oh yep, I got big pockets.
Do you have Jinko pants?
Yep.
Stick a whole Xbox in your pocket. I'm calling this the Last Best Era Part 1 because I'm going to split this into 3 episodes because the big three consoles at that time. Maybe even a bonus episode. Who knows? We'll see how
Wow.
tired of it I get of it.
Who knows? I thought you said that.
Yeah. It's like I know, but who else knows? Maybe I don't even know.
You probably don't.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. Who knows? Now we're just going to talk about beer. After today, we won't talk about video games anymore, just beer. So it's the end of an era. But we're finally doing this one. I've been talking about the last best era for all the episodes, and
probably for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems important to me. So it's finally time to talk about. Let's talk about it. Let's give me something to talk about for once. That's not how the song goes. So, anyways, we'll do 3 episodes, and we could even count PC if we want to, but I didn't have a PC back then, and I don't know. I mean, I guess if I went back in time, I would maybe have a PC, but I only said that so Danelle would maybe be triggered to sing.
Back in time.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Nice.
So anyways, we'll focus on this week. Let's remind everyone what the last best era is. Of course, in my opinion, Shimoda was on the show and he had a different answer, but for me, it's the early 2000s. That's it. Done. Episode over. Let's talk about beer. So GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. But today just Xbox.
Yeah.
And this is just like my opinion, man. But I'll repeat myself for Brandon, who listens to our shows but doesn't pay attention. So Brandon, it's the last best era because it was a time where people just released a piece of art to the best of their ability, and that's what it was. And that's why I don't include PC, because PC was well connected to the internet, and had a lot of those things associated with it. Not that being connected to the internet's bad. It's just there's certain reasons. But the game, it was out there. There wasn't constant patches or updates. There wasn't really DLC. I mean, I guess technically there was, and I guess I'll get to that in the episode, but not like we know it today.
Yeah.
There definitely wasn't microtransactions, at least on the Xbox games and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't done my history because that would require learning.
Oh, stupid.
I have no more room left in this noggin of mine, so maybe they had that kind of stuff, but obviously not like in your face. And fighting games alone, like that's my best example. Is fighting. We love fighting games here. We're always saying tiger and you lose and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But fighting games is the biggest gripe that I have nowadays. There's so many additions and DLC, and FOMO, and even after you buy all that stuff, there's still ways to spend your money. Even the ones that have like the everything edition that's like $130 isn't everything. There's some air quotes again here.
Wow.
Like there's still ways to spend money, and it's just
awful.
I mean, I get it, right? But it's still annoying. And I'm not gonna sit here and bag on those games today. I'm gonna just talk about the last best era. In the last best era, you got all the extra content in the games. You had to work for it, but you got it. Grind, play for hours, do specific things, and I think that made it more fun. In my opinion.
It did. It made it difficult.
Yeah,
but challenging and satisfying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I think part of the show that we don't talk about enough, except in the intro when I'm able to do it correctly, is that we are 2 seasoned industry vets, right? So we get here at Double Shift, we get why companies do what they do for the money reasons. We've been in meetings about revenue and
they don't do it for the consumer; they do it for themselves.
Yeah, it's not like they think that fans like spreading their money across multiple years in one game. It's like, no, it's how do we get as much money as possible for this? And listen, things are expensive. So, but as a fan, as a consumer, it sucks. People don't like it. Free to play, pay to win is awful. Obviously, nobody really likes that. Hopefully, they don't do that too much anymore. I'm sure they do. But and free to play and then pay for cosmetics, I think it's fine. I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that.
It's like, oh, I want that costume. Like Jeff plays Marvel Rivals all the time and collects all the Scarlet Witch costumes. That's his favorite. He likes to seek Scarlet Witch in different costumes,
Hmm.
and he spends pretty much all the money that we get from the show on that game. In fact, which is ridiculous. But anyways,
Oh, jeez.
I liked paying for a game and getting all the content back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's not the only reason why I think it's the last best era. You know, games that come with a lot of extra content and all that kind of stuff and doesn't have the modern pitfalls. Uh, if the game isn't good, then who cares? And so back
True.
then, it was just like I don't know, everything was good even when it wasn't. To me, like there was a lot of fresh ideas. Companies weren't
Yeah.
afraid to be weird and
Yeah.
take chances. And a lot of the franchises that started back then, like in that
Yes.
era. You're like
Oh, yeah, you're
Halo,
right. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
yeah, GTA,
Yeah.
Dem franchise boys, which isn't the game. I think that's just a hip hop group. I believe started back then as well.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. We need that oh wow sound effect. Jeff, let's work on that. Thank
Probably
you.
copyrighted. Probably can't.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gone now. You know, MTV's not even a channel anymore. So
True.
take that. Um, the graphics back then had reached the point where things like they almost look realistic. At least at that time. Hindsight is really annoying. It ruins
Yeah.
everything. But like at that time, it's like, oh, finally, it's like the faces like move. You know, it wasn't like
Yeah.
the James Bond like weird like
Yeah. And their
static
mouths weren't
face.
moving, or like Mario, they're like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Their mouths moved. Mario
maybe
still was a little mute though. He was always just like,
he, I think he still is.
"Oh no," you know. So, no,
Yeah.
wow. Um, and dual stick controllers became the standard.
Oh, yeah.
And the games they just felt, the best. And this was the era where console players finally did get to go online. Like it started in this era. You can go online and kind of play with your friends. So, anyways, that's why I think it's the best era. I don't know, Danelle, if you have anything to add or if this is just my hill that I'm standing on with my flag. But if you have anything,
I guess the only thing for me is that this is actually when I stopped kind of playing video games.
oh,
Was because I didn't have money. I couldn't buy
right,
consoles. I couldn't buy games. My parents certainly couldn't buy them for me. And so I was still on, playing. I think I definitely had the GameCube, but that was it. I was a Nintendo person. I never owned a PlayStation. I never owned an Xbox. So at this point, I still had my GameCube.
right.
And so I like the generation before what you're talking about.
PS1
I
and
guess.
yeah,
Yeah, but like I said, I didn't play any of that. I like GameCube, and the SNES era is probably my favorite
oh,
era, I
of
guess.
course, of course.
But I fell behind. This is exactly when I fell behind in games, is because I just didn't own any of these consoles.
It's
So
all. It's probably around the time you started in the industry.
yeah, like 2002, 2003 is when I
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
And so yeah, I didn't own any of the new consoles. I think that's actually what bought like I did buy a PS2, but in like I I don't even know, '06, '05 or something.
Yeah.
Like I bought it I even bought it like when it was like the old small version when they had like
Nice.
re-released like the Slims.
Right. Virginia Slims.
It was because I was just so behind. But yeah, I mean I couldn't afford any of this stuff. So I believe you when you say you believe this is the best era, but you're not wrong. I know of what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but I was just behind.
Right. Well, that's okay. I mean, now you carry Xboxes in your pockets. You're freaking rolling.
Yep, I carry
Balling.
Xboxes, and then I have my Switch in my other
Nice. There you
box.
go. What do I have? I just have this guy. This guy.
This guy.
Look
Wait,
at
is this
him.
thing
Anyways,
upside
he's
down?
not an Xbox
It
guy.
isn't.
So let's get to some Xbox memories. I will start with
Sex box. Sorry,
no. Now that is
Jeff didn't even pay
inappropriate.
attention.
Jeff.
He didn't even hear what I said.
Yeah. Doodly-doo. It's okay.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Yeah. And her name was Sony. Anyways, that's Family Guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
um, First game we'll talk about is Mech Assault for
What?
the brand new Xbox Live. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off. The Xbox was part of the big three in the last great era, but it wasn't perfect. I loved my Xbox, and I thought it was so cool when Xbox Live came out. It was kind of a foreign concept to me, playing games online, especially with strangers all over the country or
Yeah,
even
I
the
didn't
world.
like it. I don't know. I didn't like when I did start doing it. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, jump ahead a little bit, and I don't really either. But back then, I was like, "Whoa, that's cool."
Yeah, it was so cool because exactly. There was points where I was like, man, I wish I could play Mario Kart with my friends online. Oh, I wish I could like play.
Yeah,
When I was a huge fighting game fan too. Mortal Kombat. Oh, I wish I could play Mortal Kombat with my friend online, and
yeah,
so it was definitely cool.
for sure. And playing with friends is one thing. Playing with strangers is that's what.
Yeah, exactly.
Meh.
Yeah.
But I saved up money to get it. You had to buy the service, right? You couldn't just like a PC or you just go online. And I guess that makes sense because it's whatever. But it came with a game called Mech Assault, and so it was like I think it was like $60. So and then it came with the game, and so it was like the price of admission. It was a subscription, which was a bummer. I was just talking about like they didn't have this or that back to the best era, and here I am. The first thing I'm talking about is a subscription, but whatever. Back then, a monthly subscription was a foreign concept to me, outside of a magazine or those pesky Columbia House CDs that I never sent back.
Oh my gosh, I used to love Columbia House.
Absolutely, I didn't do them. I did the other one, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot what the other one was, but I did both of them.
I fell into the trap.
Me too. I'm like, it's so cheap. You get like 10 of them for $1 each or whatever,
Exactly.
and not knowing, oh, you're gonna get charged $25 the next month.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have a credit card back when Xbox Live came out, so I asked my mom if I could use hers
Aw.
because you needed to sign up. I bought the thing, it was like a year or whatever it was, and I promised that I would take it off once the subscription ran out, or I could buy another one. I was like, "Don't worry, I won't forget about this." Well, we both forgot about it, and
Oh no.
I think she was charged like $50 a year
Oh
until that card
no.
expired, maybe. I felt so
Okay.
bad. She wasn't that mad because she was like, I forgot too. Like, because it was like years later, I got an email and it was like, your subscription has not been renewed because of blah blah blah. And I was like, oh shit,
Oh, that is so funny.
oopsie doodle. But that's not the point. My terrible mistake with Xbox Live. That's not my point. My point is
Yeah.
that I'm contradicting myself because I was like, back in the best era, you didn't pay extra for anything, and here I am racking up.
Oh,
my
you're
credit card.
funny.
So, anyways, and they did have they did have DLC on Xbox Live. I don't think you paid money for it though. I think most of it was free, if I'm remembering correctly. Even the ones that I did, it was just like a new map or whatever it was. 360 is where like the paid DLC really came into focus. But Xbox One or whatever you call it, OG Xbox,
Yeah.
they had a lot of user created content too, which I thought was cool. So, but I was excited to play online back then, which again, it's funny because outside of pretty much Sam Squanch, I don't really play online. And then Mech Assault, I had a little bit of experience with Mech Warrior. My brother, when he moved out, he had like bought a computer and he had Mech Assault or Mech Warrior on there. It's pretty much the same thing. You walk around in a giant robot and you shoot things. I don't know why my arms are doing this, but I guess that's how
Does it
robots
make
walk
sense?
around.
Yeah.
So, but I knew I would get scraped online. I knew I was going to be terrible. But I needed a gamer tag, and that was very exciting because I'd never had a gamer tag
Wow.
before. So I quickly went with Famous Mo, which was short for Famous Mortimer, which was a super obscure reference from the show Mr. Show.
Oh, I never watched that.
Oh, I love Mr. Show.
I know
Love
of it. I think I've
Yeah.
seen some because everyone was like, Mr. Joe!
Yeah, you had to be like a nerdy super fan to be like Famous Mortimer from Mr. Show. Like, yeah, it was. But I shortened it to Famous Mo. So I hopped online and I was playing my first game, and I'll never forget it. There was this British girl on my team, and I remember this because she would not stop talking the entire time. She's and she wasn't really talking to me. She was talking to like a friend, and until she was talking to me, And I can't explain this to now. I don't know why I thought it was so funny or why I still think it's so funny, but she was talking to me, and maybe it was because it was my first online interaction and it was also very British, but she said, "Famous Mo, what's your favorite mech?" And so I think she asked me what my favorite mech was, like my favorite character, but I was paralyzed. I'm not a rude person on purpose anyways, so I think I was like able to mute or something. I was cracking up.
Oh my!
So I don't think she heard it. So I composed myself, and I was able to get out of jail easily. I was like, "Hey, I just got this game. I don't know," and that seemed to satisfy her, and she moved on to talking to her friend before. But
That's hilarious.
and it was one of those things. Like my brother, next time I saw him, I told him about it, and and I was like, "Famous Mo, what's your favorite mech?" And he thought it was like hilarious, and so it's something that we still say like to this day. Like,
Oh, I could see that.
I never really did figure out what my favorite mech was either. I was absolute dog poop at that game online, and I still am. I'm not good at video games despite my love for them, but so I didn't I didn't play it all that much. I did play the single player a lot, and you would love it. You walk around, you're in a big mech, and you shoot things and you blow things up and stomp from one objective to the other. And then you walk around some more and you shoot some more things, and people are talking to you and they're like, "Hey, come walk over here and shoot this building and those mechs." And then when you're done with that, there are more things and buildings to shoot and blow up over here. So that's what Mech Assault was. You did that for
Sounds like a
levels
game I made up.
Yeah. You're on a giant robot and you walk around, you
shoot
shoot buildings,
things.
and then you get over there, you shoot more buildings, and
Yep.
and they even got the sequel, Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf, I believe it's called. But my Xbox had a problem by then. Granted,
Oh.
and this if you can go back in time and tell yourself that you didn't need money to buy consoles, this might inspire you. This Xbox I had was a free Xbox that one of my friends gave me. He's like, "I don't want this Xbox anymore. Do you want it?" And I'd be like, "Sure." So I thought my days of OG Xboxing was over. I forgot what it was. It was like a disc drive thing, or it wasn't really working. And I don't even know what I did with that one. I don't have it anymore. But anyways, I had another friend who had an Xbox that he didn't want anymore. Like very shortly after my other one broke. And so he gave me his, and he also gave me a Dreamcast when he didn't want that anymore. And boy, I wish I still kept both of those. But I guess that's just how the universe works for me. I get free stuff. Other people get free stuff from me. It's just like a circle of life type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyways, I had another Xbox. I can play Mech Assault 2. And I think you can get out of the robot mech and walk around and shoot things. And, that concept is like, cool, said nobody. I mean, like, honestly, like, if you're in a giant robot, you have a game where you're in giant robots and you crush things and all that kind of stuff. Like, why would you want to be a human all of a sudden? Like, oh, I can get out and be a human now.
Oh, true. It's like, that's not the point.
It is still pretty fun, though. So online play for Xbox was fresh and new for consoles. Dreamcast tried, but didn't quite execute. We'll talk about Dreamcast probably in some other episode. Who knows? I know. But something that I loved about the OG Xbox was being able to, you can store music on there. So you could pop a CD and you can rip it to the system, basically.
Oh, nice.
I don't think you could do that with PlayStation. You definitely couldn't do it with GameCube. But anyway, Xbox, you could like listen to music and then have like cool visual effects on the screen, like those Winamp type.
Well, that's because they're a computer company, Microsoft. So
yeah, they were straight up. It was a computer, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Or if the game allowed for it, you could even use the music ripped to your system in a game.
I think I do remember that. I think I remember watching somebody play, and I was like, "What?"
Yes, I was my mind blown. And so, for example, moving on to our next game, GTA San Andreas.
Oh.
So first of all, that was a big deal for Xbox. GTA had previously only been PlayStation, maybe PC in the early days of like the early GTAs, but it was back when console exclusives were like a thing. That's another thing that I miss about the last great era.
Huge wars when I used to work, and everyone always used to like, I'm a PlayStation, I'm a Xbox, and then the different games and...
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it's healthy for the industry to have that competition. But
Yeah.
what do I know? I just am old and like remembering things. But so it was announced that it was coming to Xbox, and everyone lost their minds. I had a PS2, and I think I borrowed GTA San Andreas from a friend, but I didn't. I had it for like a weekend, and I never bought it because my PS2 ended up somewhere, probably my sister's, for a month or a year or 4. See, that's how it works. You get systems, and they just travel around. My past relationship with consoles was pretty loose. Is what I'm saying. Lose one here, leave one there, get one for free over yonder, trade that one back in for a new one. The list goes on. That's how That's how I was able to play all this shit. We didn't have money either. Anyways, I never really got into San Andreas on my own too deep. I would play it at a friend's house and all that kind of stuff, but didn't really have late night gaming sessions. The preferred way to play back in the day was late night gaming sessions. Now I'm old, so I don't do anything.
For me, I got stuck actually at a certain point because I told you I had bought my like PS2 Slim, and that's where I was playing with San Andreas. But at one point, so I think my TV was like the visual, whatever you call it, like the picture color was off, and so it was too dark.
Oh.
And so I got to one point in the game, and I like couldn't see anything. And I could never play, and I was like looking, or I was walking around, and I kept trying to like, and I forgot what it was. It must have been something like I walked into a house, or I walked in somewhere, and all of a sudden it was just like black, and I couldn't play anymore. And I thought at the time it was my console. I thought maybe the game was broken, and I tried and took it out, put it back in, and unplugged, plugged, like did everything I could think of. And so I eventually, and I must have only been playing the game for like even just a couple of weeks. Like I didn't even play it that long, and I just got stuck. And so I was like, "Oh, this game's broken." I don't know how. It must have been like a couple of games later that it said something about like, "Oh, you should try to adjust." Like it was one of the games, because some of them nowadays too, they tell you like adjust the size of your screen or to adjust the color sensitivity. And then when I did that, I could see. And I was like, no way. And so I think I put GTA back in, and all of a sudden I could freaking see everything.
It probably helped that you took off your sunglasses, too, I would imagine.
Wow.
So,
but I was so mad because I loved playing GTA, and then I just got to the point where I just got stuck, and I couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Did you ever beat it? No.
No.
Too long.
I'm not a mission-based person. I actually didn't like doing missions in the game. I kind of like, I did some...
Drive around and listen to hip-hop?
Yeah, exactly. Just drive around and sometimes shoot people or beat them up, take money, buy properties. It was just really cool because it was based on the actual cities, all these games. And so it was really cool just to kind of like see landmarks and, oh, I know that area. Oh, I know this, oh, it's 101, or I don't know. It was just so cool to see how like real it was.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just so cool. So I never finished any of the GTAs that I played.
It's okay. They're too long, honestly.
Yeah, you definitely get your money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
And like such awesome, beautiful games, but it's just too much.
It is too much. I played the crap out of it. So I got it. My first one that I owned was for the OG Xbox. And my late night gaming sessions were like 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. type thing. Like hardcore, smoking way too many Marlboro 27s, and eating way too many Hot Pocket subs.
Oh, I did that for sure.
Yeah, very healthy. But one of my favorite things about all GTAs is the radio stations.
Yes.
Sometimes I just drive around and listen to
I know. So
explore
awesome.
the map and listen to the radio.
That was such a cool idea. Oh.
No, yeah. I love the country station. I love all the stations in San Andreas. I mean, I like doing that in real life too. I like driving around listening to music, right? But so anyways, you could rip music to your Xbox and you can make a custom radio station in GTA San Andreas.
Oh, really?
Which made me say,
whoa. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Say it with me, Danelle. Whoa. So I had what I consider to be the best heavy metal album of all time as a station. The Bastard by Hammers of Misfortune. And I loved mobbing around listening to that album in San Andreas. It was peak. For me, that was peak. Nothing any game company could ever do. They would never do anything better in a million years. Ever, never, ever, never, ever. How do I end this, Dino? How do I get out of Never Never Land? Penzel, do you know how to... Eric Penzel, how do I get out of this loop? Tell me. Now.
I don't know.
All right, good. I don't know either. So listen, I've talked about GTA. We've talked about GTA on the show a lot. So
Yeah.
I will. Let's just take this time to talk about more old school Xbox games. Maybe something we haven't even talked about before, such as Halo. Damn it, we talked about them.
I was
Halo One
gonna
and
say
Two.
yes, we have.
I know. But listen, we've talked about Halo
Halo,
a little bit.
Halo. Sorry,
Yeah, I think you even did that. I'm
I
pretty
can't.
sure.
I can't not.
We haven't talked about it as much as GTA, but we've talked about it. But you can't mention Xbox and
Oh
not
yeah.
mention Halo. You just got to. Um, and I didn't have the Xbox yet when the initial Halo hype happened. That's hard to say.
I was just gonna say I like that the Halo hype happened.
Halo hype happened. I heard about all the hype, but I just I didn't know much about it because I didn't have it. But I remember one night hanging out with a friend, and we didn't know what to do, so we went to another friend's house because we heard that there were even more friends at that house, and that's what you did back in the day, before bars and stuff like that. You just hung out, and you kept adding people to the hangout and changing locations. That's all you did.
Yeah, for sure.
You always ended up at Jack in the Box parking lot. That's always where it ended. So, when we walked in there were a bunch of dudes. Now, Jeff, go ahead and get that sound effect out of the way. But if you're ready, they all had TVs and Xboxes, and I was like, "What the hey are these guys doing?" And I was like, "Oh, they're doing that. They're playing that dang Halo thing that I heard so much about." And I had heard about this lore, this nerd linkage.
I saw
Nerd method, but I've never seen it. I'm a nerd. We all know that I'm a nerd, but I never really got into the nerd linkage LAN party stuff. I never did it. I don't think I'm that much of a nerd. Also, there's like people, and anyways,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't want to call him a bigger nerd than me, but I bet he's LANed before.
Oh
Anyways,
my gosh.
they were all playing, and we didn't have TVs or Xboxes, so we just left.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that was another thing that happened a lot back in the day. Like friends would call up. They would call you up, and they'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing right now? Want to come hang out?" And be like, "Sure, I'm not doing anything. I'll go to your house and I'll hang out." And you would get there, and they're just like playing video games. They're like chilling, playing video games. You walk in, and like they don't even break eye contact. They're just like, "Sup, dude?" And
This must
like,
be a guy thing because the girls didn't do
yeah,
this.
yeah, I would imagine so. And then they're like not really like talking to you, and you're like, "Hey, so what's up?" And they're like kind of annoyed every time you talk, and so it's like really awkward. This happened all the time, not just with one person.
Oh
Like
my
this was like a
gosh.
thing,
Wow.
And then like you'd be there for like 15 minutes, and it's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna get up out of here, peace, man." And they'd be like, "Oh, you're leaving? All right, man. Well, thanks for hanging." Like you know. So obviously that's never happened to you, but that happened to me all the time. I don't know, Jeff. That ever happened to you? Yeah.
He didn't have friends.
He didn't have friends. I read his lips. That's so sad. That's like my joke. I had, yeah.
I figured you were going to say that. Or maybe you've said it before. That's why it just popped in my head.
Ridiculous. Well, listen, Jeff. If you can go back in time and relive that, do it. It's worth it. So I played Halo 1 a little bit eventually, just single player. I liked it. I loved it, actually. It was epic. The enemies were hilarious and terrifying at the same time. The music, the atmosphere, everything was great. Even so, more so with Halo 2. My brother got me that for Christmas. I think I tried playing that online. He quickly said nope, because I'm terrible at especially like games like Halo. To forget about it. Fighting games I might do okay, but Halo, just forget about it. Single player was cool, and it had a story. But who cares? And that's what we always say here at Double Shift. We love stories. We love video games, obviously. But we don't always remember or care about video game stories. And I think, so one day I would actually like to do an episode where we talk about good video game stories, obviously in our opinion. But Halo's fun, dope, iconic. But again, we've talked about it before, so let's sneak in some more OG Xbox games before we have our whittle snacky poo.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have a new segment called Mid-Show Rapid Fire, mostly because I want a new bumper for Jeff to create and a new song, even though we don't have
He's disappointed.
we don't have a song for the other Rapid Fire. We do have a bumper for it, though, so I'll take it. Anyways, I'm just gonna name old games and maybe say like one or two things about it. So, first of all, man, I got to get to a game we've never talked about before. So, first of all, Soul Calibur 2. Damn it, we talked about it before, but the Xbox version, you could be Spawn. We've never talked about the
I
Xbox.
tested that game.
Oh, yeah, Namco.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think I can reach this prop. I'm always looking for props and never finding them.
I know. I wish I would have looked at this sooner because I think I still. I still think I have my Spawn.
Nice. So I don't. This is obviously not the Xbox one, but here's the GameCube version.
Yeah. Dang it, mine's probably up there too.
Darn it. But anyways, loved Soul Calibur 2. I think I had it on GameCube and Xbox. If not, I at least borrowed an Xbox One and kept it for a year or something. Another game that was amazing and just super random was The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher
What?
Bay.
Really?
So random. That's what I said.
So random.
When my buddy was like, "Dude, you gotta
Chronicles
play,
of
you gotta play
Riddick, really?
Riddick on Xbox." I'm like, "What are you even talking about?" So it is the Vin Diesel sci-fi franchise,
That is
and
so weird.
they made an original story and game for the Xbox, and it was so good. It was like
Really?
it was like Riddick meets Prison Break, but instead of forging lifelong friendships and unlikely alliances and taking a whole TV season to break out of prison, you were just Vin Diesel and you started breaking out right away. And it was dope. It was like kind of a stealth game, and it was like violent, and
Wow.
he was like, it was really good. It was one of those
How
games
weird.
where people were like, like really like petitioning for it to come back and that kind of stuff. It was really good. So. Next game is Time Splitters Future Perfect. I had mentioned Time Splitters 2 in the previous Snacks segment, but Future Perfect was the final game in the series. I played the crap out of it online. Actually, I was actually pretty good at it online. And you can also create your own maps for online. And I created some bangers, but
Nice.
other people got really creative. And someone did like all the GoldenEye maps, which that was dope. And so yeah.
Wow.
And finally, Fabled. No, not Fable. Not Fabled. Fable.
Oh, I was gonna say I heard a Fable.
a fabled game called Fable, advertised as the best game that ever is, ever was, and that ever will be. Obviously, that's not true, but it was a really cool fantasy RPG. It came out on Halloween, and I got it. And let's just say that day was fun, and it was kind of a trip. It was a really good day, but yeah, that was a fun Halloween playing Fable, I think.
Nice. I think.
So I could list a bunch of other cool stuff, but we have two other Last Best Era shows, maybe even a bonus one, with other games from this era. So I suppose I'll calm down a little bit, I'll sit back, I'll relax, and I'll have some... Well, I don't know, Jeff. What rhymes with relax?
Snacks? 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 Snacks?
I'm so cool.
Hell yeah, you did that. That's the #1 song on iTunes, which doesn't exist anymore. Snacks by Danelle and Jeff. So, for those of you who don't know, Snacks it's our favorite segment. I mean, I've even suggested to Jeff at one point, like, we could just make the podcast Snacks and just pair a game in a
So
snack.
many podcast ideas you have.
I know. Beer and video games, beer, and food so far. So.
I know.
Snacks is a segment where we take a dope snack or snacks or a restaurant or going to Disneyland or whatever it is, and we pair it with the game, which Danelle forgets about every time, just like you would fine wine with fancy food. And we spell snacks with an X because today's the Xbox episode, so of course we have to do that.
Of course.
So today's snack, I think I've mentioned it before, not in the snacks segment, but like just randomly on the show. Who knows if I have or not? But this to me is one of the ultimates. You know how I like my combos, So first off, gotta have my Pops. Remember those commercials?
Oh, of course I do. I loved Pops.
I don't know if they make those kind of commercials anymore. It's unfortunate if they don't, but. So I think Pops are okay on their own. It's a solid cereal. It always
I liked it.
Well, yeah, no, I liked it too. Pop seems like the leftover clumps from the assembly line on other cereals in the factory,
Stupid.
and they, and that's what Pops are. It's just like sugar clumps. It doesn't matter. It's just all sugary goodness in the end, anyways. But Pops are kind of boring with regular milk.
What else would you add?
That's for rookies and children.
What?
Regular milk, I say. The way to really elevate them is to add chocolate milk.
What? I never thought about that. That sounds weird.
No, it's not though. It does sound. No, it doesn't. Well,
Well, because
I
I
don't
like
know.
it. I don't know. I guess I'm just used to the corn taste of the Pops, and so the milk makes it like not say bland, but it enhances the corn. Unless the chocolate seems like it would overpower the corn taste. I don't know.
And you would, listen.
Huh.
I'm flabbergasted because I'm so excited. I tried.
I know you are. You look like you're about to.
I guess Jeff earlier was just like before we started was like, oh, it's easy to do a Boomhauer impression, just talk like Mikey, and I was like, what is he talking about? And just a second ago, I was like, hey, dang, there, pop with a regular milk pan. Anyways,
We got you.
yeah, you did. So at one time we didn't have regular milk, but we
Okay.
had Pops and we had chocolate milk.
Yeah.
I poured myself of a bowl, thinking this will do, and then I tried. It's like whatever. It's better than adding water. So I
Yeah.
tried it, and then I said to myself, I said, "Oh man," out loud, and then I had another bowl, and just to see if it was a fluke, and it wasn't a fluke, and so I had a third bowl, and now I felt sick, but it was still very good as the
Did you
first
just
bowl.
have jugs of chocolate milk or something? Because I always had to make my own chocolate milk.
I think we must have had one of those gallon jug.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
This the store brand was always like $1. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
We always had Nesquik around, so I always had to make my own. So I never
Yeah.
had readily. That's why I would have never thought about it.
Yeah, and see that Nesquik wouldn't work. I don't think for this. It's just too it's too different. So,
Okay.
so I had these 3 bowls of Pops, and I looked around the room, almost if I was the only one on earth who had discovered this masterful snack combination, and I didn't want anyone to find out about it. And I would repeat this process in the weeks to come with various mini boxes of cereal we had around
Oh,
the house.
wow.
The variety packs, right?
Yeah. Oh, I loved those.
Frosted cover mini
Frosted
weeks.
Flakes. Yeah.
Frosted cover mini
Oh.
weeks. First of all, it's the healthiest sugar out there, but that didn't work with chocolate milk. It seemed to reject the chocolate milk,
Oh,
almost
stupid.
like oil and water. It's just like slid right off. I swear.
Oh, now I don't even know what that even stuff was made of now.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't eat that shit anymore. But it just didn't work,
Hmm.
and so I felt like taking a risk. So I tried it with Cocoa Pebbles, and it was, as you can imagine, way too much.
Wow.
Would it work with Fruity Pebbles? No, not that kind of Fruity Pebbles
Oh,
vanilla
wow.
cereal. But no, guess what? A resounding hell no, it did not work. Not even close. And I
Yeah.
really should have known better.
Too
Apple
opposite.
Jacks, blah.
Oh.
Frosted Flakes, they're not great.
Oh.
Rice Krispie, that one kind of worked. Rice Krispie, because they already have Cocoa Pebbles and all that thing. It's not close to Pops.
Huh.
And also I want you to know, every time I say Pops, I think of Artie Lang and Dirty Work.
Oh.
Have you not seen Dirty Work?
I
Norm Macdonald's movie?
I know maybe I don't. I mean, I definitely know the movie. I don't know if I've seen it.
So they're trying to save Artie's dad in the movie, and he calls him Pops. And there's this one line in the movie which is so dumb when you say it out loud, but my wife and I love it. He goes, "Listen, Pops is my dad." Which obviously Pops is your dad. So we say that line all the time. So every time I think of Pops, I think of Pops is my dad, or what are we gonna do about Pops? He always says in the movie. So anyway, what are you talking about? Pops and chocolate milk. I don't remember what chocolate milk we had, but I'm pretty sure it was like Lucky's store brand. I'm almost
interesting.
positive, or Safeway or whatever. But I have tried it with different brands of chocolate milk over the years, and I don't know. There's some cosmic reaction when you mix those two together. It's rich and smooth and sweet, but not overly sweet. I think it was just meant to be. Maybe even the best snack combo since peanut butter and sriracha. Who knows?
Wow.
And I'm also convinced that the mini boxes are better than the big box for this combo. And it's just food science is weird. I've said it before. There's something to the mini boxes of Pops with chocolate milk. Kind of like Kraft mac and cheese, the shapes, they have a different taste than the traditional noodles. I think it's better. It has more chemicals, obviously. I'm pretty sure, but again,
probably haven't. I maybe had the shapes once or twice, maybe
yeah.
ever.
Food science is weird. Don't be hating on shapes. You know,
They were more expensive.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It was stupid. It was so weird. Like, but you wanted a different shape there, I don't know. And then it was like less than a box. The normal boxes are like 12 ounces, and then the shapes were like 8 or something, and it was more. And...
Yeah, well, kids, you know, like, oh, I want Blue's Clues or whatever Jeff's into.
I loved Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
I was watching that too late in life. I watched it when I was in high school.
Right.
I should have not been watching.
Like this?
I was watching Rugrats and Blue's Clues when I was like 16 years old. I guess that says a lot about me.
No, it's the concept's fine. I just, you know how I feel about Rugrats. Did not like it. Anyways, so you obviously would you try this combo today?
I would.
Okay. Will you try this combo?
No.
Okay. Why not? Anyways,
I don't drink chocolate milk or have cereal anymore.
No, I get it. I don't either. Like, it sounds good to me, and like every time
I
you
have
talk
hot
about
cocoa at night for.
it wouldn't work.
But no, I know. But other than that, I don't go around drinking chocolate milk anymore.
Right.
I loved it, and the thing about me and chocolate milk is that the only way I could drink it is with a spoon. It tastes different.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, so like when it was in a glass, I couldn't just sip on it. But if I used a metal spoon and I would sip it, there's something about the chocolate and the milk in. I've heard it before because that's why people use like golden spoons.
Right.
And even when you're like cooking sometimes too, they say you're not supposed to use metal. Sometimes you're supposed to use wood.
I always use wood.
It changes the composition of like the food, which does sound weird, but there was something about drinking chocolate milk out of the spoon versus drinking it out of the glass. I couldn't drink it out of the glass.
Food science is weird. That's our 4th podcast. Food science is weird.
Yeah.
We just talk about Skittles. So believe it or not, Danelle, we can't just sit here and talk about cereal all day. We do have to pair this with a video game. And today's video game is Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
What the heck is that?
So let's get it out of the way right now, Danelle. You can fart in this game.
What?
And the other characters laugh at you when you do. And you can sit there, I think, maybe forever. Because you gather up your friends. And I'll get to that in a minute. But, like, you can fart. And you can fart forever and get, like, if you wanted to buy this game and just gather up enough like teammates and just
I kind of want to.
Yeah, you could do that. And they go, oh. Are you not familiar with Oddworld at all?
I think so. Maybe
Abe's Odyssey was for the PS1.
Maybe sounds.
But you're sold, right? Say no more. You could.
Yeah, I just wanted to fart and get laughed at.
Yeah. So this was the first game.
I do it nowadays. Oh man, I was in the theater and I wanted to fart so bad. It was like so quiet, and I thought it would have been so funny just to like let it go. But everyone would like look. I was like, maybe if it was the end of the movie and we were about to leave, I would do it. But yeah, 'cause it's funny. There's
a video, I think, of Oppenheimer. I haven't seen.
Oh no, someone.
But there's like a part where the climax essentially happens, and there's like maybe a moment of silence, like before the sonic boom type thing, and it's like this guy timed this perfectly, like in the little and the whole theater lost it, but
like that's what I wanted to do.
It was a real fart, but yeah. Anyways, so Oddworld.
I'm sold on this game already. No.
Yeah, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. Not easy to say. First game I played on Xbox. The friend who gave me the Xbox initially also gave me some games, of course, and this was one of them. And I was a huge fan for the PS1 one, which is kind of a lie because I was a fan of that game, and we even owned it. I think my brother bought it. It was a very unique story with even more unique characters and amazing graphics for the time. It's always for the time. But a huge fan's a lie, and I say that because that game was so brutally hard, brutally difficult. It's one of those games where that when people say that they beat it, you just assume that they were lying, and you might even call them out on it. And if you did, they'd be like, I didn't. I never even got close to beating it. It was really hard, but I wanted to like it, and so I was a huge fan of the idea of it. But Munch's Odyssey was a little different. So it's a puzzle platformer, just like the first one.
Okay.
And it's like 2.5D, or the first one was 2.5D, where it's like 2D but 3D sprites. Munch's Odyssey was 3D. Obviously, added a lot more variety. You could spin the camera. That's what I'm doing. I'm spinning the camera.
Right
It was
round, baby,
simple. You had to
round.
basically progress by getting past areas or rooms, and in order to do that, you have to collect enough weird alien plants to donate to the weird
Oh.
alien plant shrine, and
What
then
the
move
heck?
on. And then you recruit your friends and other weird alien dudes, and you use them to do weird alien things to solve the even weirder alien puzzles. And that's pretty much it. There's like big rooms that are hard to traverse. Sometimes you need your buddies to they would chant, doing, 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 doing. It would open up a door,
What the heck?
go grab the plants and
It
come
sounds
out.
interesting.
It's fun. Yeah, it's really fun. And it's charming and it's challenging. And it actually did have a decent story. So that could even make our actual decent story episode. But Oddworld, it's had undertones about oppressionism, classism, racism, a lot of isms, but done in a way where it's not targeting a specific audience because it's weird alien creatures. And the best part about Munch's Odyssey is it wasn't brutally difficult. And so if someone said they beat it, you can not call them out on it and not get in a fight over video games. Eventually, you recruit enough weird alien dudes, and it almost becomes like Lemmings, if you remember Lemmings.
Oh yeah.
Because some of them were expendable, and that kind of stuff. And so, anyways, I would actually like to play it to see how it held up today, and if I did play it and it doesn't hold up, at least you can still fart.
I know. I'm with it.
So it sounds like your thoughts. It sounds like you would play it just for the farting alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. It's made me laugh.
Yeah,
Alien part sounds cool.
yeah, and they have funny voices, and so yeah. I'm sure you can find on YouTube a video of just Oddworld Munch's Odyssey fart, and I'm sure you can find it. If not, I'll have to buy it and make a video and put it on our YouTube. So, and I say that knowing that I never will, because I say a lot of things that I never do.
Jeff, yeah.
I owe the audience how to properly get your Nintendo to work without blowing on it. Doodly doo. Anyways, so that's our snack and game, and we're gonna move to rapid fire again. We have a mid rapid fire and the end rapid fire, and this one's just gonna be random Xbox facts and memories. So these episodes that we're doing, the last greatest era shows. It's too many memories to cram into one show, honestly. So that's why I'm going to do the multiple rapid fire segments, and I'm going to keep it simple. It's random facts and memories. Facts, in this case, is not spelled with an X, because then it would read like facts, which is not facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts is already a word, so I spell facts. Anyways,
Facts of life.
back to life. Yeah, I don't remember the words. The first fact is
Facts.
called Alien Secrets. So the dashboard sounds from the Xbox were rumored to be recorded from NASA, fueling myths that the console was trying to communicate with aliens. There was a rumor that this console was actually built to communicate with aliens.
Wow.
And it also matched its green, otherworldly design.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And speaking of green, green was actually kind of a mistake. Now it's iconic. Well, even though the Xbox you pulled out of your Jinko pocket was white, you think of green when you think of Xbox. And the green color, it was chosen because the industrial designer, Horace Luke, only had a green marker available when designing.
No.
Yes. So that's how they did that.
Hilarious.
Next one, not so much of a fact, but more of a memory. So the modded Xbox. So with the OG Xbox in particular, the only other console I can think of is the original PSP. A lot of people modded those. And that's because they were easy to do it. A lot of consoles now are not easy to mod. But oh my god, it was such a thing back then. Really easy to do. I never did it, but I wanted to. That's a cool story, right?
Oh, I know. I was trying to look. I thought I had them in my other apartment. But when I worked for Namco...
You got one?
One of the famous games that was there at the time was Tales of Symphonia.
Okay, yeah.
And they gave us all the, Xbox, face clips.
Oh, okay.
And it had all the different, characters on it. And we were always told, a lot of the stuff we got there, you can't sell this stuff. You're not allowed to sell it and whatever. And so I didn't even own an Xbox. And I still have them to this day. But I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. Maybe I could sell them now. But they have all these Tales of Symphonia Xbox clips.
You absolutely could
or
sell them now.
faceplates, whatever you want to call them.
You could sell them now for sure. Um, yeah. So the most people I knew that did this made it into like an arcade machine emulator machine type thing that had like
Yeah.
all the Nintendo and
Yeah.
arcade games on it, which doesn't seem like a big deal today because I think avocados can play arcade games technically.
Oh.
But back then it was like, whoa, you have this cool thing you can hook up to your TV, and yeah, anyways. Um, so that was that. I wouldn't mind getting an Xbox and modding it actually today, but again, I like saying things out loud that I'll never do. Um, Next fact is that Xbox was short for Direct Xbox.
What?
So you know, like the driver or whatever, like the graphics card, DirectX, right? Like that's like a Microsoft thing.
Oh.
And so this was the Direct Xbox, and marketing hated it. So they asked for a list of other names, and I have some of those other names.
Oh.
AIO for all in one.
I kind of like it. I don't know.
You know, maybe I have
Hey
my.
yo. Hey yo.
Well, if you did that, then yeah. Or maybe like System of a Down. Oh, yeah, oh, hey, oh.
Yeah. Hey.
Um,
Oh.
but they didn't do that, so that didn't stick. The next one is MOX,
Huh.
Microsoft Optimal Experience. Terrible.
I kind of like it.
Ugh, see,
I
I
like
think
all these
I have my blinders on where it's like I already it's like no, it's Xbox. It can't be any
Oh.
that I think that's what it does to me. But and then the last one I have is IS1 for Interactive System in One. But they still kept they shortened it to Xbox instead of Direct Xbox, which they hated. But they kept it for Focus Test, and that won out like overwhelming. Like the fans liked Xbox the most, and I don't know who else puts X's on things because they're cool, right? What other show or podcast does that? Obviously, it's like we knew something that I don't know. You know who else does that? Then I'm going to quote you.
Oh gosh.
This guy. Anyways.
Yes.
And then the last one is Xbox has had two controllers, but not because they were cool and they released a variety of controllers. The OG Xbox controller that they released was huge. And
Yeah.
it
The
was
first time I
nicknamed-
played with one, I was like, well,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It's like a grapefruit. It was called the Duke. If
Oh.
you liked it, it was called the Duke, and if not, it was called Fatty apparently, which is
Oh.
mean.
Yeah.
So
I
they
like
made a
Fatty.
smaller, more comfortable one, kind of similar in size to this, but like pointier.
Yeah.
And so I had both, which I was fine with. I mean, I had both because both my Xboxes were free, and I just got what they gave me.
This guy.
But hey, I gotta get more free stuff. We need to get a PO box. I bet I get a lot of free stuff from Alberto and Brandon, but still free nonetheless. But yeah, so if they didn't change the Duke, that could have been the beginning of the end, right in the beginning, because people hated it. Like it was like all the magazines were like, "This is the worst controller ever." Most of the fans that had regular or small hands didn't like it. My hands are pretty big, so I thought it was fine. But
Yeah.
anyways, but that could have been the end for Xbox, but it wasn't. But speaking of endings, that's all I have for you today. So Danelle, what have you learned today?
Oh jeez. That I missed out on a lot. Although I already knew that.
Yeah,
But
you can relive it now.
it was definitely pretty shameful being in the industry and not being up to the time. I felt like that. But I constantly had to, I hate saying this now, but I can because I'm not working in the industry, constantly had to lie about, like, what games are you currently playing? And because I wasn't up to date on any of the current games, I didn't have any new consoles. And so luckily I did have friends or, that had games that I had played at their house or watched them play, like, oh, this game.
Yeah,
And I couldn't be in on the conversations. Like I said, everyone was either a PlayStation or, or an Xbox. Like everybody had this huge controversy at work, and I was always like,
Yeah.
Nintendo.
well,
Like,
that's first of all the right answer. Okay, let's get that out of the way. I feel like an unfortunate byproduct of that specific company, because I was when I started like I had like traded my Xbox in to get a DS for my girlfriend, for my wife, my girlfriend at the time, for Christmas. And so when I joined the game industry, I was always behind too. Like you know what I mean. And so like, but I was just always like, I don't have this shit. Yeah, I don't have any money. And like people would just laugh and yeah, like I didn't have to lie to kick it. Essentially, like
Yeah, I just always felt like I should always have an answer. I didn't like saying that I didn't know, or that I, just because I feel like, oh no, they're gonna automatically just not gonna hire me because I don't play games, or
yeah,
oh, they're not gonna hire me because I'm not, up to date.
I
Or,
get
she
it.
doesn't know, what, she doesn't know anything. She's not up to date, and I don't know, being a girl in the industry too. I mean, I guess I kind of got a pass for that. I feel like 'cause
Right.
there was not too many of them at the time, but yeah, that's what I learned today. I was definitely behind. There's a lot of games I wish I had played. I could play now, but now
Listen, there's not enough time between
no, I just rather watch.
murder mysteries.
Oh, is it murder? Yeah, murder shows and tennis.
Murder
and-
tennis.
Oh my gosh, we need we need to make that game. Someone needs to make murder tennis.
Get
Yes.
out, or Jeff, take notes. It's another game we're gonna make. Murder tennis. Okay, that's writes itself.
I
Honestly,
wonder what you would do. I guess you could walk around with a racket and like hit people with tennis balls, or
it'd be like it'd be tennis, but you could you get hit by the ball, and so like. What is it? 15, 30, 40, right? Like the tennis scoring is pretty short per game.
Yeah, for each
And
game.
so it's like when you get 15, you score it by knocking the other guy's arm off, right? And so now it's like 15. And if he gets it back, he it's like checkers.
Oh,
He gets it
I
back.
see.
But when you win a set, it's like the last one is like head, and it's like game set match.
Game
Now,
over. Yeah.
and on the other side, it's just like an armless, legless, headless.
Oh man.
Jeff. Because he's rare characters in the game, anyways, yeah. See, we did it. Patent pending. Don't steal our murder tennis. So I'll end with a statement here. So I consider this era to be the last great era. It doesn't mean that I don't think that, in the spirit of this episode, for example, the 360, which was next, wasn't rad, despite the fact that the 360 always died. The Xbox Live Arcade was dope, and this is when DLC started coming into the picture, but it wasn't too bad or aggressive. And oftentimes it was like buying just a cheap game, like The Ballad of Gay Tony, which is a title of a Grand Theft Auto expansion, which I love saying because it's ridiculous. And so I'm not here to tell you that DLC is bad or anything like that. I mean, PC had expansion packs back in the day anyways, but anyways, I've been talking too much. I just want to get that out of the way. Just because this is the last great era doesn't mean that everything after that sucked.
Yeah.
Here at Double Shift, we don't like to talk smack about too much stuff. But talking is what I've been doing a little bit too much of, and I wanted to get to our main topic, which of course was gift cards with just a few bucks left on them. Why do we keep them around the house and never use them? Jeff, do we have any time for this topic? It's almost like we rehearsed it, Well, I'm getting the high sign from Jeff, which means we're out of time, so it's time to say goodbye, Janelle.
Goodbye, Janelle.
And with that, we leave you with the Double Shift host. May your gamer score be heavy and your backlog be light. May your connection be strong and your aim precision tight. May your Joy-Cons be as mighty as the ocean, but never should they drift. And for all you QA pirates out there, you'll survive. Yar! Double Shift! Double Shift, after the shift, coming soon, about beer.
Yeah. I want to get some beer now.
Let's drink beer.